Hey guys, it's YOU WACK, and with the brand new changes for Mercy finally here, and with Moira coming to competitive in a few days, I wanted to make a video talking about the best healers to use in Season 7 in certain situations, because a lot of people are saying that Mercy is totally useless. You know, they're so used to her being a must pick, they're so used to her instantly rezzing people, which is still there, you just gotta pop your ultimate. I want to make a video talking about these specific situations and explain why Mercy is not gonna do that well in these situations, but also give some other healers that you can use, because if I just paint a picture for you guys for the best healers for these situations, I'm sure you're gonna see a bit more success, especially if you're a support main. But I also want to get your guys' thoughts on this whole support situation, because as it stands right now, there is, at least for me, I don't think there's really a must pick in the support category, but there are gonna be some healers that will do a tremendously better job than other healers if you're on, say, on attack route 66, or if you're defending on Nepal, or if you're defending on Hanamura, you know. So we're gonna be looking at the three types of maps, which is going to be Control, Escort, and 2CP maps. I am aware that there are hybrids, which is Control and Escort, but pretty much you're just going to take the Control and Escort type of heroes that you would use in those situations and just apply to that. And I'm also going to be looking at the attacking side and defensive side for who you should play for a primary healer and you should play for a secondary healer, assuming you're going to be using two healers. So let's get into the video. This might seem a little bit complicated at first, but I'm just going to be explaining everything and just tell you guys what are the best healers to use in what certain situations. And I'm not going to be one-sided, because you might be surprised with my pickings, and with the addition of Moira too, because I'm going to include Moira with the list of the other four healers, which is going to be Ana, Mercy, Zenyatta, Lucio, and now Moira. Symmetra, she's in a whole league in her own, so she's not on this list. So the first type of map I want to look at are actually going to be control maps, and because this is the easiest way that I can really explain why Mercy isn't all that useful, I'm using air quotes, because she still can be great. I'm not saying that you can't use Mercy on, say, Oasis or Nepal or any of these types of maps, but let's take like Oasis University or whatever, or just any control map really. The reason why Mercy isn't all that great is because every single fight usually is going to take place on the points. So that means people are going to be dying on the points. So that means, well, if you want to rest someone, you're kind of a sitting duck and everyone's already around you. So that's why Mercy, again, she still can work, but she's not the greatest. So for a primarily hero spot, it's going to go to Ana. The reason for that is because, well, there's not a lot of heroes that are going to be going forward that aren't going to be in your line of sight, and they're pretty up close and personal too, so you're going to be able to pop off a lot of heals, assuming that you can aim with Ana. Me personally, I'm not the greatest with Ana because I don't have the greatest aim, but I see a lot more success with her when I am on control maps, because more or less all the heroes are going to be around me, including the squishier heroes like Soldier, like Tracer, like Genji, all those types of heroes rather. And then for the secondary healer spots, Lucio is probably going to be your main guy. Same thing, if you play Zenyatta, which Lucio and Zenyatta is always going to take the secondary spots usually. Moira can, but in this case Moira would be a primary healer, which she's awesome on control maps because, well, the balls are always going to be in this little point. But for the secondary healer spots, Lucio's so great because, well, again, everyone's around you, everyone's going to be hearing your song, going to be getting heals, and no one's really going to be advancing forward away from you. There's not ever a time where you need a heal song, but also the speed song really does help in case you overextend a little bit and you need to get back to the point. So control maps, very easy to explain, and Ana probably going to be your best healer. If not, Moira can also be somewhat of a primary healer. Now here's where things get a little bit more interesting, which is going to be looking at escort maps. So I'm talking about like Route 66, I'm talking about Junkertown, I'm talking about when you're finally moving the payload on King's Row after you capture the point, or you're moving the payload on Eichelwald, whatever the case may be, the primary healer spot is still going to be Mercy. But again, it still goes with like the saying that I said beforehand, you can still use Ana, but Mercy, it's so great at this time because what you're trying to do is advance the payload, and usually what happens, the enemy team isn't really trying to flank around you, so that way Mercy really is still protected. But if someone does die, you're still progressing forward, you're still going to be able to get a res off, because it's not like the enemy team is up in your face, they're kind of on their heels and still moving backwards, and if you're able to get a res off, well, you're still going to be protected. Let's just use like King's Row through the alleyway. Let's say you do get a few kills, but a soldier does die right by the payload. Well, if you continue to move the payload, you're going to have protection from the payload, you're going to have protection from the actual building, and you're going to be able to get that res off real quick. So that's why I had to explain Mercy on attack payloads. Not the worst type of situation, but now we actually want to take a look at the secondary healer spots. And whenever it comes to this, it's still a little bit weird, but for me personally, I like a Zenyatta because, again, no one's going to be really flanking around you, and you don't really need all that like speed, you don't need all that heal song, and people are going to be advancing forward, so not everyone's going to be hearing your song if you are playing Lucio, assuming that. So Zenyatta wouldn't be the worst secondary healer, and you're going to be able to actually throw an orb on someone like Genji or Tracer, a lot of these flanking heroes, and you also don't even need to be next to them. So that's why Zenyatta is an awesome secondary healer if you're moving the payload. So now let's actually take a look at you defending on these maps, defending on Route 66 or defending on King's Row after they capture the point. I'm gonna say both Ana and Mercy, but I'm gonna favor Ana in this situation because what you're trying to avoid is being on your back heels, backpedaling in a sense, because it's so easy for someone to die, and since the enemy team is advancing and you guys aren't, you're gonna back up, but you're not wanting to get a res off because more or less the enemy team is gonna be right on top of where your teammate just died. So at that point, you're a sitting duck at that point. Well, I want to go res that person, but I don't want to die, but I still want to go res them. So you go res them, you get attack and you die. That's 2 people down. So that's why Ana, really, if they have flankers, you can easily sleep them. Someone is in front of you as terms of your teammates, which is going to happen most of the time. You're going to be easily going to be able to pop off those heals. As terms of Moira, the reason why I really don't like her defending is because she can work, don't get me wrong, but let's say you do throw a damage dealing ball or you throw a heal ball, but you're on your back heels, you're degressing, you're kind of going backwards, the enemy team is progressing forward. That damage dealing ball isn't going to do much because it's going right past them. That heal ball isn't going to do much because it's going right in front of you and not being used. So that's why I don't really like Moira. She can work, but Ana, so great, so perfect because your team is going to be right in front of you. You can defend yourself. Mercy, you're going to be a sitting duck if someone does die and you're on your back heels. And then for a secondary hero spot, if you're defending, it can kind of be both Zenyatta and Lucio, but I'm going to favor Zen more or less because when it comes to Lucio, you're not progressing. You're staying in one spot, so why would you need the speed song at that point? That's why I like Zenyatta. He can kind of be unfavorable in matchups where there's a lot of flankers, but really, I just like Zenyatta. I don't know why. It might be the Transcendence. At that point, if you are on King's Row, you're going to have Transcendence, which could really counter Graviton, so that's why I like the Zenyatta. But now I actually wanted to talk about 2CP maps and really explain how Mercy can be really effective and ineffective on these maps because I really wanted to focus on the situations when it came to Mercy because it seems like this is where a lot of people are getting frustrated, especially when it comes to 2CP maps because these are the maps that are really designed more or less for the defending team. When it comes to attacking, it's really not in your favor because you pretty much need the whole entire team. It's not like 1 or 2 people can really carry and take the point because the defending team respawn right there. Let's just use something like Hanamura, right? Let's say you go up right on the stairs and someone does die right on top of the stairs, but you do get a few kills. What's going to happen now is the enemy team is going to drop towards the point. You're not going to be a sitting duck because your teammate did die on the stairs, you have protection, and you're going to be able to get that res off. You need that teammate to be able to attack with you guys on the point. If not all of you, let alone or maybe 5 or 4 people aren't there, you're not going to be able to capture the points. So that res, it's going to be so crucial, and you still do have protection. Now, as terms of a secondary healer spot, whether you're attacking the first point or the second point, Lucio is always going to be good. This is a time where you do need a speed song, but also everyone's going to be around you. Usually there's not going to be a lot of flankers when it comes to attacking. There still can be, but Lucio, he is so great because everyone is going to be around you when it comes to heals, when it comes to your speed song, or also when it comes to your ultimate. Because at this time, what's probably going to be happening is that you guys have your ultimate. Same thing with Mercy. When it comes to a nano boost, yeah, that is great, but Mercy's ultimate, everyone's going to get heals, and you can still res when you are on the point, so you aren't really a sitting duck. But defending, that's a whole different story, and Mercy, it kind of goes with the control maps because she's not favored. If the enemy team is coming on the point and someone does die on the point, same thing. You're a sitting duck, you're not going to be able to get that res off. The team is going to be able to focus you because, well, you're just standing still and you're going to die. 2 people down at that point. So that's why I would say Ana or Moira can work in this case. It's kind of the same as control maps. Even though I did say they are a little bit designed differently, Ana and Moira, it's still great because, well, you can throw the biotic grenade. A lot of people are going to get antied, but also your team is going to be able to heal quickly, but also Moira's balls is going to be able to bounce all around. But it's that secondary healer spot that is really complicated because when crap hits the fan, your go-to guy is going to be Lucio because you need to stall out, but also everyone's going to be around you. But if you're defending, you have a lot of room to play with. Like if you're on Volskaya, a Discord orb and plus a Harmony orb, it really wouldn't be the worst option. That's why I really like Zen. And plus, you can also build Transcendence against that Graviton. It's kind of like the same thing with the control maps, but really, it's tough to say. But really, if you have faith in your team, go with Zenyatta. But if you really don't, play Lucio, because that way you can stall off a little bit, and hopefully your team can also come back and stall off with you. And that's a quick rundown of the best healers that you want to try to use for basically every map type. I know I didn't include Hybrid, but basically they're the same as Control and Escort. Just take the healers that I mentioned there. And I just wanted to give you a quick rundown of how Mercy is still viable, but also why she isn't viable. I really wanted to emphasize with control maps. That's why I had it first. That's why I wanted to explain and give the sitting duck scenario. So that's why she's not the greatest right now. So anyway, guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Good luck for all the healer mains. Hopefully this video does help. That's all I ever try to do with this channel and these types of videos. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.